Anyway, so we're gonna do the review now. I'm gonna fade myself here. I have Jake here with us
Brett,
too, guys.
the music is coming across way louder on YouTube. Turn it down just a little bit.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay, cool.
Turned it down. Should be good. Yeah. There we go. Better. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, I turned it down a lot. So anyway, basically, we're going to go over some tickers for you guys. Just post them in the chat. Let us know what you want us to review, and yeah, we'll go from there. I got Jake in here too, so I'll do like 3 names or something like that. Toss it over to Jake. He'll do 3. We'll both look at them though, obviously, but
Yep.
that's it, guys. So let me fade myself out here. All right, there we go. Cool. So we'll take a look first at some of the picks we had for the week. First, we had Nike, right?
Yep.
So we had Nike, guys. Yeah. I think our end. Let's see. What was our? Whoops. Nope. Here's our PDF, right? So we had our Nike pick this week. That was our first weekly pick, okay? And entry was 171 to 172. So this morning, obviously a little bit of a gap down. A couple names were down this morning, most of the market actually, right? We saw a big pump in the morning, some tech faded early. We'll look at that in a sec. And then we saw a big run at the end, but a lot of names kind of just opened a little bit red. Nike, we'll go over another one, UPS 2, and then we kind of just pumped into the end of the day and pretty much the whole day, right? A little bit of consolidation sideways, but Nike hit our entry 171 pretty early this morning. It was just a pre-market high break, so it kind of worked out nice actually with just how we would trade it normally if it wasn't on the PDF, right? We had a nice 5-minute break, 15-minute close. Obviously, when you go to 10:15, you'll see here as well above 171. So 171 was our entry on the PDF. We're hoping to ride this on the daily. If you look at it, guys, right?
175 is coming.
Yeah, 175, pretty much the highs. This was Jake's pick for the PDF. Jake also kind of picked UPS 2, which was a great trade for me. I didn't get to take Nike, but it worked out really well. Jake posted it in the chat too. Everybody made some pretty good gains there. It looks good to hold for runners, and we're kind of just hoping for this all-time high move this week. So strong candle, increasing volume too. Looks good.
Looks good. Yep, that one just played out sort of exactly what we were looking for. Just a little started off with a little head fake low, but as soon as we got our entry, I think we'll be able to hold runners for this for 175. Nike options are cheap, dude. So when it gets a nice move, you'll get paid well.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. Let's go. The next pick was Shop. So we our entry was an hourly close above 1500. So hopefully you guys didn't get faked out because in the morning there was a pump. But remember, on names like Shop or these expensive contracts, right, like Amazon, etc. The reason that we wait for hourly closes on some of these names is because we need a clear break above certain resistance, guys. So 1500 is where we want to see an hourly close because that's kind of where we had these daily closes reject. So that's why we put hourly close above 1500. So hopefully nobody. I mean, if you scalped it early this morning, of course you made a bag, but if you were holding on, it obviously dipped pretty low and eventually wasn't able to get back above there until the end of the day. So I think there was an hourly close above 1500. Let's see here. Just shy of it. So maybe it entered here at 14.99, not too bad. But it's good that we consolidated right above, right at this 14.90, right below 1500. You really need to see that breakout. I didn't personally enter the trade because we didn't have that hourly close. Didn't look strong above 1500. But tomorrow I'm looking for a pump because why? Well, Amazon did the damn thing, obviously. So maybe we'll see some continuation there and a follow up from Shop. But nothing there yet. But that was on the PDF. Nothing to play out too much. UPS I took at the open. That was our third pick. Jake picked this one too, and I'll show you guys. We'll look at the daily in a sec. Our entry was 193 to 194.50, so just right at the open, you could have taken this trade. And it just took off right away. Nice consolidation, never broke below 196, held these lows all day, and closed pretty much at a high a day. right there. So this isn't a ticker that, we went over it. If you guys look at our channel, you'll see me go more in depth on UPS and the PDF plays, but we're just going over how they played out, right? We had this rounding bottom here where pretty much at that earnings gap up we had in April. We had a bad earnings the other day, a couple weeks ago, right? And now we kind of just consolidated right around that 190 level, curling up here. Jake spotted this little consolidation right at the 194 level or so, and today we had a nice follow-up. And what do we have? Increasing volume, right? Hopefully we'll get an even stronger volume tomorrow to really curl up here, right? We are right at the 20 EMA on the daily, so we'll see what happens. But it would be nice to get a little dip, maybe to 196.50 or something in the morning, and then a push above there. That should be, a nice gap fill play, hopefully. But we're aiming for this 50-day moving average, something like that, right? We'll probably see 200 this week, though. But this is a good contract. I think I got $200 calls, or I got 197.50. I forget exactly. I have to check. But both respectively up like 80 to 90% each. So, and I'm swinging those right now. So it looks good.
Yeah, this thing should break up into that gap. It might have. What it might do tomorrow or Wednesday is kind of give a head fake into the 20 and into that gap and like hold below. But this chart, that would even surprise me a little bit. It looks strong, dude. I think that this thing should see 200 this week. It has some open interest there too.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely good plays all around. Shop didn't hit there yet, and that's pretty much it. The long term we had was T. Obviously that's going to take a while. Nothing to really review there, but just curling. Still holding this level. Nothing there. But
T was up 1 cent today.
Yeah,
it's
green, man.
Hey.
It's profit.
Bruh, profit's profit. You were up a cent.
It might be time to TP. All right, let's look at some of we'll bust through these real quick. I'll just do the first round of these up until ORF. I guess I'll do real quick. I'll just do a bunch of them real quick. So hourly QQQ, obviously, guys, we had a fake out right to the downside. It was pretty bad, honestly. A lot of these names, a lot of these tech stocks sold off pretty hard at the open, right? Well, a little bit after the open, like 15 minutes or so, right? And they faked us out because there was a close on a lot of the hourly charts below the lows of last week, right? Below the the entire lows of last week, right? So, it's pretty rough, pretty scary to buy the dip here, to be honest. Hard spot to do it. But if you switch to the lower time frames, right, like the 5 minute or the 15, what you want to see on like some of these like V reversals or like reversals for the most part, right? You want to see some consolidation like this happen, and then usually this is what happens, to be honest. You usually have something like this. Where's my there it is, right? You usually have something like this, and then you get a candle like this one coming up here, right? And it kind of just looks like a bear flag breakdown, right? You kind of consolidate it to the right, and then looks like we're going to get some more downside. But once that gets invalidated, which you'll see, the reversal candle comes in here, right? This is the 5 minute, excuse me, right? When you start to see it consolidate for too long down here, it usually looks like it may get invalidated for a type of V. You get a lot of volume here, right? Now VPVR is sitting here rather than anywhere on the dump because you've been consolidating here. And when you get any type of breakout above this 20 EMA, remember guys, on trending days, when you have a big dip, if anything crosses usually the 20 up or down, it's usually a good spot. You usually see some type of reversal, especially when you have some good volume on it, right? So look, we have matching volume, pretty much outweighs everything on the consolidation here before this long wick, right? So usually that's a good spot. You could take calls around here, right? And you'll see it never went below any of those lows. So, you could take, there's always good plays to take if you're looking for those Vs when you get like some type of bearish pattern invalidated by something like this, right? Even if you waited until here, your stop could just be below that previous 5 minute, right? And you're just gonna aim for what? Maybe here for resistance, and you'll see it rejected a little bit at the bottom here, right? Retraced to the 20, came up and then broke out. So that was a nice V bottom. They're hard to catch, right?
Dude, they're rare. This shit was tough.
This shit was tough. This one, it looked bad on the higher time frames, but if you were scalping and looking at these lower ones, it was a good find on a lot of these names. You just would have to play a tight stop, like we just showed.
Yep.
Yeah. So that
was a good move. But anyway, crazy move.
QQ hourly, right? It looks good. Let's let's see. Let me zoom out. Right, we're sitting back up here. We need to break out tomorrow, though. We can't have this we can't have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can't have this 5 times that we're touching and then reject. If we break below yesterday's lows, it's going to be bad. Today's lows, excuse me, it's going to be bad. So we want to see some type of maybe a little gap, a gap up would be nice, and then a retrace to here, and then a pump would be good. Or we want a little bit of a move down. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, we're already down a little bit, right? So we are down a little bit. We're probably somewhere around here right now. This is where we want to open, right around here, and then a move up, something like that. We want to get a higher low, right? Because this, you could say this is a lower low, technically, right? But not, it's pretty even with it. So it's about even lows. So you want to see a higher low form here before we move up. So on tech, that's what we're looking at. I'm going to try to go through these more, but I wanted to take more time to go over QQQ because obviously it's just your, insight to tech overall. So we'll go quick through the rest of these guys. So Roku daily. I wanted to put Roku on the PDF. Jake and I talked about it yesterday, but until we got a candle like this, and even this is a tough one to still play. You really want to see a close above the 200 MA, and you want to get above the whatever is shown on like VPVR here, right on the daily. So really you want to get above 360 again, at least. Realistically, 370. You want to engulf this previous candle that we had, right, on Friday. So It's a good spot to go long. You could even go long shares, right? It's probably a good spot, but you'd be risking it. So you want to wait. If you want to wait for confirmation, you probably want to wait for 370. But I wouldn't be against taking a long with a stop below the lows, but it is again going to be a risk.
What if Roku can sweep those lows one more time and then give some sort of bullish candle on the daily, then I'm looking at longs. But until then, this one, like you said, it's like it could be a reversal candle, but it also still feels like it needs another little bit down, right? And this one, compared to like the Apples and Microsofts, it didn't recover nearly as well. It wasn't as bad as like AMD or Tesla, but I think Roku might need a little more time. But on the daily, it should set a higher low here at some point soon. Like it doesn't have a ton of room.
Yeah, you can see though, guys, like every day it dips down, right? Like a huge dump, right? In the morning, pump up that day, rejects that previous low, boom. What happens here? Same thing, like comes up, lower high, right? Lower high, dumps down, doesn't even get anywhere near that point, dumps, pre-market, rejects that same level we had from the previous day and the start of the week, right? Dumps again. So until we break out of this trend, we have a higher high, there's really no point in longing the name. At least for a smaller time frame aspect, right? Baba Daily, all the China stocks are fucked.
Fucked. It's fucked.
Yeah, Jake doesn't like to hear this name. Right now, at least.
I have a bad history with Baba, man.
Yeah, it's ugly, guys. It's rough. It's real rough. The problem is too. This is gonna be a name that that nobody will probably catch perfect. You just have to randomly kind of keep longing it. I feel like that random person will get it. It's just gonna break out one day and keep going. I feel like it's not gonna obey any technicals too much. You can accumulate shares right around this level. Honestly, it's a good level to buy. Anywhere between this 170 to 180 level. But for options, it's a tough time. You got to get it back above this 20 EMA, and even when we did that earlier in the year, when we had that little China pump, rejected right back down. But this was a clear rejection area, right? 228, 230. And then we just can't get back above that 50 and 20 EMA, right? So until we see a good bullish push from China, continuing for at least a week or two, I'd stay away for right now.
I just don't know where that weekly goes. Like, peep the weekly. Like, where does that go? You know what I mean? Like, it has to put in a higher low at some point, but it just keeps selling. Yeah. And so if it doesn't put in a higher low, like, it's going to 100.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very strong support, guys. This is the highest amount of volumes at 178, right? So high 170s, 180 is a good spot to accumulate shares. But again, I wouldn't be doing options unless you're willing to risk a decent amount in case it breaks down again. But we'll see. Also, if the U.S. markets break down, right, tech, this is going to come down with them. Even though they've already been beaten up hard, you're not going to see these names recover, during the U.S. downfall unless China comes out with, some good news or something like that, but not to be expected too much. Palantir. Yeah, Palantir looks pretty good actually. Very low volume today, right? I think they had. Oh no, it's a weekly. Whoops. Yeah, they had earnings, right? This is a pretty good setup. But ideally, you'd want some type of hourly close above like 25. Usually after a good earnings, if it has a little bit of consolidation, that usually means maybe some indecision there or a nice push for a move up. I just don't like how we have this long wick here, right? And then we have not really any type of follow-up the next 2 days. It is nice that we had a lot of buying pressure towards these lows, right? At 23, 24. But until we get above 25, nothing you really hear from me. I didn't read the earnings report, though, so I don't know. You know anything about that, Jake? I didn't read it.
No, I didn't read the earnings report, but I know with Palantir, I hate trading this stock just because I always think it's going to make a big move, but the float is like giant. It's like the same kind of float as Microsoft, so it's just or something like that. Someone told me that once. So it takes a lot of money to move this stock. So that's why I remember when we ever since after it hit these 45 highs and it actually became like PLTR like over here, it just takes a lot of money to move it. So I mean, I don't know how they actually did in the report, but like you said, the chart is kind of in no man's land right now. Like this could be getting ready for a breakup above 25 and like an actual move above 25. I also think it could just be working back into this range of like 23, 24, and it's just going to be stuck in a range and infuriate people. The way you should trade Palantir is you should buy 100 shares and sell covered calls. That's, I think, is the way to play it because it just doesn't move that much.
You pretty much have this range here, though, right, guys? I mean, you had a little dip below, right? But this is pretty much the range here, $20 to $28. So, you got to watch this. This is the midpoint. So you got to watch that midline. That's it. But yeah, selling covered calls is good because it's a good company, right, to accumulate shares long term. But the premium you can get to sell on some of those up days, right, those green days, you can get a pretty good amount of premium, right? I think they spike pretty hard, those contracts. So if you sell some calls, you'll be able to reduce your cost basis pretty well. All right, AMC and then ORF, and then I'll give it to you for a bit. Yeah, AMC. So I was talking about AMC last week. I liked AMC here, to be honest. A little bit of a YOLO type thing, right? It's obviously always going to be a little bit risky playing AMC, right? But it held these lows again after its earnings, and there was some buying pressure that came in Thursday and Friday, which I liked, and then today just some nice moves, 6% day. If we can get above this 20 EMA, I think we can move. Maybe back to that $42 range or so, somewhere around here, right? Something like that. Maybe the 50 will curl down, meet us right here, 42, 43. So I like AMC, to be honest. But you got to be careful with AMC also. Again, it's a good stock to also, the problem is you can also sell calls on AMC, but, you can get ripped anytime. So you got to be careful. You'd have to keep rolling them out. But, yeah, I don't know. I haven't played AMC in a while, but I did like it for shares.
I like the way this one's setting up. I just worry, like Vinny is saying it too, that like every high or low or every low or high, you got to try and short this thing because it's going to get the Tilleray treatment of just like slow death.
This 20's been the resistance for July, August, right? Yeah, pretty much. So we'll see what happens.
I still think, dude, I think GameStop and AMC are running at some point just because like they're getting slow death, but they're not dying. Like GameStop is still above 150. That's like, if it's gonna fall, it shouldn't still be above 150. Like
it's crazy.
Nuts.
GameStop looks a little weaker.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think AMC can do the damn thing. We'll see though. They had some crypto news or something like that too. So.
Dude, their earnings report, they came out and said that they were willing to work with GameStop.
Amazing.
Literally amazing.
Truly amazing. All right, and then last one we'll do ORF. I'll give it to Jake. ORF, guys, I told everybody about this the other day. We did a trim also, but I told you guys around this $5 level. I think we got in at like $5 or $4.80, something. I don't know, something like that. $5, something like that. We trimmed around $6.60 or something like that. They have a drug, all right, that got denied. I always forget. I don't know why, because I play this name a lot. Forget which drug, but it got denied in the U.S., okay? But let me show you what happened when there was news of it getting approved. I have to zoom out so far. Stock went from $5 all the way up to $77. There was news that the U.S. was going to have an FDA approval for it, and they kind of went back and forth. And then they were like, all right, a possible trial or retrial or something, and then it kind of just sold off as the U.S. basically declined it. Dropped right back down to its lows. Now, the reason that it popped back up was because they said they're going to go for the Europe approval, FDA approval, okay? And they said they would need a few months to work that out, so it started getting some buyers right around this $4 range, and there was some call flow that came in, so I was checking it out, and there were some articles that they were going for the approval soon by the end of the month. So I think August 31st they have a meeting, or they're doing a review of everything they have for to show the FDA in Europe, or whatever it's called over there, and they're going to try to get the approval for the drug in Europe. So it's still going to be obviously a lot of money for the company, but the reason they're going for Europe is because they're less strict with the guidelines than the US. So this is easily a $15, $20 stock, again, if they do get approved. But again, it is a big what if, so we kind of trade it like a penny stock, moving 10, 20% in a day. Make sure your stops are accordingly, and you're taking profits, every 30% or so, because this can obviously get rejected again. But we made a nice trade. It looks like it's setting up for another move higher. I like this candle that it had today, holding the 20, but again, it's hard to play these names. You kind of just got to play it by ear and catch it whenever any news comes out. So just keep it on your watch list. Yeah, that's it. So I'll give it over to Jake here. If you guys want to pick any names for Jake, go ahead. I'll read down the list for right now. Let's see, AMD. Somebody wants to do AMD. AMD 15 minute. Yeah, I think AMD had a nice sell-off today, right?
Yeah, I was in it. It was not fun. I think I'm still seeing your screen on. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, let me hide this. Yeah, there we go. All right, so 15 minute. Let me get there. Let me shrink down just to one chart for now. See how this comes out and looks. All right, so the AMD 15 minute. We're bear flagging. It's really what it is, right? But it's kind of a tough one because we're still in a support zone, if you want to call it that, right? We're in a little daily area that we've held. We haven't really broken down from this area at all. So we can't assume that we're going to break down. So with AMD, what I would be looking for on this 15 minute is, as much as I hate to say it, but it's on short watch for me tomorrow. So with AMD, if we end up getting that small gap down in the market that we were looking for, and if we don't end up getting the bounce that we want, right? The names that I want to be watching to short are the weakest names from today. So the weakest names from today were AMD was one of them. Tesla was another one of them. So those weak names, the way I trade, I'm not looking for those to bounce back up. I'm looking for those to either continue to base out and eventually come back up, or we can short this bear flag, right? Both of them are pretty clean and pretty visible bear flags. I don't think that many people would argue that. So what I would do with AMD is leave it alone for now, take it from someone who tried to long it this morning and then held through too much pain. Let this one develop. If we're also, you asked me for the 15 minute, but the daily is what really is important. But the daily is what is important. And this daily is not super appealing, right? Because we should have continued a little bit higher from this green candle right here. And we just didn't. There was just no follow through. We ended up coming back down. It's not damning, but it's definitely not a good start for what longs on AMD wanted. So at this point, I would just wait for over 111.15, wait for a confirmation close over 111.15, right? So whatever you use for confirmation, either 5 or 15 or hourly candle, wait for that 111.15. That would be my AMD advice. All right, what's next? I saw BNGO on there 5 times, so I'm going to do BNGO. All right. This is another one of those ones. So I think there's just not much to do, right? I mean, in terms of you can maybe buy long-term shares.
Looks like shit.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do shit around here because this now is starting to break below these lows right here. So we're probably going to head back down towards the 450-ish area. Maybe $5 will hold, but there's nothing to do here right now unless you want to actively short it, which again, I wouldn't short any of these types of names. Yeah, there's no trade here. What you should be looking for on BNGO, truthfully, if you're trying to like day trade it, I would honestly wait till at least above this $8 and this $8 region, right? Get it above that $8 region, then we can attack this $9 resistance. Above that, we have room. So for now, BNGO is a no trade. If we get back down to the 4 area, 450, 480, and we hold with a nice higher low and a daily hammer or something like that, then I'll be interested again. But for now, nothing to do here. All right. What else we got, Brett?
OCGN, kind of the same thing. It looks a little bit better though. We have shares long for that. OCGN.
All right, word. OCGN. Yeah, same thing. A lot of these types of penny stocks, there's just not a lot to do until the move comes, right? Like until it sets up for some sort of move above these previous highs, there's just not much to do, right? Maybe you can try and pick a bottom, but most of the time what you're going to be doing is picking a bottom in a pretty clean downtrend, right? Like this is still up overall from these lows, but we're moving in a forward-looking downtrend, right? So maybe something at the bottom here with the trend line, but again, I think that there are better trades out there. And the market's at all-time highs right now. You don't want charts that look like this. You want charts that look like this, right? You want Apple. You want the ones that are looking the best because the market's at all-time highs, right? The market looks its best. The charts you're trading should be the ones that look the best.
Next one, let's see.
There you go. I can see the comments now. There we go.
Apple Fire. Crazy reversal today.
Yeah, Apple looks great. I mean, I keep seeing the only thing with Apple that I want to warn people about is that I saw some people with like a $200 PT on Apple for the end of the year. It's not crazy. It's just that Apple is already such an expensive company. They're like $2.5 trillion or whatever, right? Like it's not easy for them to go up 30 or 40%. It's going to take a lot of money. So Apple looks great. I think it's going to keep going, but like I wouldn't expect this to be up 5 or 6% in a day. It just doesn't move like that. So for Apple, there is no levels though, since we closed at all-time highs. There's nothing that we can like use as a level for me in my system to pull back. But what I would be looking for is just use the open each day, right? So as long as something is trading at all-time highs, the reference point or the line in the sand that you should be using is the opening price for the day, right? So even if you had waited through the shit on Apple and you had let it pull back, let this higher low set, gone it all the way and just waited for a break above the open, you still would have been able to catch a pretty nice trade.
If you guys take the range too, if you take this range, if you do like a fib extension from this range, you're pretty much sitting at 155, 156 for a target.
Perfect,
anyway,
yeah.
So that's it. I just did it.
I wouldn't expect, it's about a $8 range, 142 to 150. So at the most, I would be thinking that lines up $8 from 148, 156 would be the target from like just a range theory. So Apple looks good, but just don't think it's going to 175 next week. It's just not the way the stock moves, right? All right. It's good. See, pins 4 hour. Saw that one. Let's check the 4 hour. I don't know with pins, dude. Have you seen pins? Like it's finally coming into like a little bit of a level here and some support. It kind of looks like it'll just be trading in a larger range for a while.
Yeah, this is one that Vinny signaled shares on, and I would just do shares too.
Yeah, I would do shares until the until the IV calms down or until we get some sort of like bullish flip on here. Maybe avoid the options. Again, if you think about it, markets at all-time highs, should this be one that we're focusing all of our energy on for options? No, definitely not, right? Because it's not not that A+ that we're looking for. Shares, though, I like Pins. I like Pinterest as a company, and we're down here at the bottom of the range. So I like Pins for shares for sure. And I think Vinny bought at 56, so we're barely up on the position. So you could definitely get in now and not feel chasing. All right, let's see this TTD hourly. TTD Pins. Sensing a pattern here. Not great. I'm not a huge fan. But it is at the lower end of this range here at 77.5. You can see I don't have any levels here. I don't trade TTD very often, or at all. I don't know if I've ever traded it. Yeah, I mean, so here you can see we had this gap up this day, right? It wasn't from earnings, but we had a strong gap up, and we never traded back at that open price, right? That open price was untested. And that open price was actually at a former level that we had from this day when we opened, and we never traded there again. So 77.5 was a level that probably needed to trade again. So now that I know that, TTD actually looks better than I thought. I think that if you are risking against this level, 77.5, that's fine. What I would not do, though, is buy out of the money contracts on this one and then just wait. This is one that I would try to catch the move like as it's happening, as opposed
buy that 80
to
break.
Yeah, but like there's no reason that you need to be in this one before it flips into an uptrend, right?
Buy that 80 break, but just watching on the smaller time frames probably.
As soon as it gets above today's open, which was 80.09, as soon as it gets above that, it should trigger some algo buys, just getting above today's open. So don't feel like you need to rush into this one. I mean, TTD is even though it's a cheap stock now, the options are still expensive because it moves so much. So don't rush into this one. All right, I'll do a few more and I'll pass it back to you, Brett. Let's see. Thoughts on the ARK situation?
So I watched.
So what's up? Who's shorting ARK? Michael Burry, right?
Yeah. Well,
I have no idea on that. It's like, who do you bet against?
Bad news today. I don't know. Maybe he's just short Tesla. I think
he's heavy short Tesla. Yeah.
I mean, guys, when you're shorting ARK, you're shorting 10% of Tesla. 10% of the fund is Tesla. So he bought I don't know. I think he's something like. He also has a short position in Tesla, like 11 million shares.
Huge short position in Tesla.
Like something crazy. So I don't know. We'll see. But
that's kind of like, are you bullish or bearish on the market, right? Like for now, bullish.
I mean, a lot of her names don't look too good, right? Like what is she?
No.
She has Draft.
She has a lot of Shop, a lot of DraftKings. She has a lot of growth names. She's all growth names.
Her coin is kind of getting shit on. I thought it would, keep going with crypto, but it's kind of getting shit on a bit.
Yep, coin. I think coin is stuck in an IPO range and probably will be stuck in that IPO range for a while. I remember when this was happening and talking to somebody. Yep.
Yeah. What else does she have? She has Shop again. Shop, needs to. Well, Shop is pretty good. It's sitting near.
Shop's not bad. Yeah. Roku is taking a beating though, and she's heavy in Roku.
She's been selling some of Roku though. She did sell in the 400s.
All right, that's good.
But, the fund needs to rotate into something new that's going to give them some, uptick here, right? They have Palantir too, I think, too, which is getting. I'm all these names that they're in, they're kind of doing shit. So, it's not that bad. Yeah, not 11 mil, 1.1 mil shares short Tesla. Yeah, but that's still a shitload of money. It's at least 680 mil, right? So, yeah. We'll have to see what happens. But ARK not looking too good. I'd rather just play the individual names,
Yeah.
For right now. If you ever get if we get a big sell-off, I'll tell you this. I'll be an investor in ARK then. If we get a market crash, I'll buy ARK. I'd probably buy ARK, over the Qs, personally. It's already dipping a bit. It'd be a good spot to
if you want the growth names, buy ARK, right? If you're going to buy a bunch of different growth names, you can just buy ARK and you'll get the same. Like, she's a good investor. She's going to do well. I don't know who's going to win this, like, Michael Burry cap. It kind of is like whether the market goes bullish or bearish, one of them's going to win.
Yeah, you got to realize she's got a lot of these names when they were low as well. So the fund's up pretty well. But, overall they need growth, right? So, what else you guys got here? Tesla, yeah, so we did Tesla.
Okay, so I saw Square in there. Square, I like Square's daily. I entered a swing for 917. I used a spread on that today to enter that.
Yeah, that's solid.
And I'm just gonna sit and wait on that a little bit, right? I don't want to. Square's expense contracts are naked are super expensive, so I bought a call spread. Gonna wait. I do think that this daily has potential. We need to get above the open price from today, 266.30s. Get above that, and we can start. Making our way back up. It seems like this was just a spike lower in an otherwise pretty clean bull flag that might keep breaking out.
Yep.
Square, I saw MU posted in there. MU, I was talking to somebody else about today. I know a guy who has a really big MU shares position, and so he was asking me about it. MU, I think you just need to wait. There's just when something gaps down like this, it's going to develop a range down here. It's probably not breaking over and back up into this area for a while. And if it does, just set an alert, and that'll probably be a pretty good trade.
Yeah,
so
you got those inside bars too. So
yeah, I think something is coming here. We could get back above, but for longs, you want above this like 72 area for sure. We need to at least get above that, and then we can start talking about it. But truthfully, these names usually take more time to develop than. Like if this broke back up into this week, I would be pretty surprised by that. Like that, they usually take some time to develop. So I don't know. I could be wrong. That could go faster, but I don't have huge hopes for it.
There's just so many plays that you can have such better setups, guys. That it's not good to take a lot of risk.
UPS is a way better setup.
You might miss out, but you'll feel better you'll feel better knowing you took a play that you were confident in, and it'll also be better in the long run because you'll develop a habit for it. But
now we flip back to UPS. This is what we want MU to look like eventually, right? It gaps down into a support a little bit. MU is reacting a little bit differently right now, but usually you want some sort of pattern where it bases out after they gap down, right? Things don't gap down just to reverse it immediately, usually. Yeah, just wait a week or two, let it develop a range, and if it holds and starts to curl back up, then you can take longs with a stop below this low, right? And then that's where you wait for the good entry. So be patient on MU. I think it could move, but I agree with Brett. You don't want to force yourself into that one when you don't necessarily need to be in it, you know?
I'm gonna steal it back and just show you real quick. So this, right? Let me make sure it switched over. Okay, cool. So guys, look, like UPS, right? This is also what pins might do. Right? You want something like this where it curls around here, and then you get like a little bit of a cup on the bottom here, sweep of this same low. You know, maybe get something like, like this, right? You get a little handle action, and then you want to break to the upside. By then, you'll have your 20 EMA probably curl and meet you somewhere here, right? And you get a cross above there, and then you would take long to somewhere around, this range, or wherever your 15-200 will be, which will be like right there. So yeah, that's what you want to look for. You're gonna look for a base. You can try to get this exactly. Pins doesn't look bad here. Again, you just have to play your stops tight below these lows though every day, and it's kind of just like you're throwing darts, hoping that it's gonna make a move here. But if it consolidates, you're kind of screwed. You could sell puts, right? I mean, that's not bad. It's a pretty good strategy here too, right, Jake? You could do puts against cash covered puts rather. Right. You
can sell puts. I actually like that idea because pins is pretty cheap too, dude. You don't need to have a ton of margin to sell puts.
Yeah, so you could do like $55, $52, 53, whatever. You could even do put credit spreads. Your risk will be a little bit higher, but as long as you have a little bit of a base, maybe wait a day or two to do put credit spreads, but that would be a good idea.
I could see put credit spreads here. Yeah, and because the stop is easy, right? As soon as we break below, if we have a strong break below that like 54 low, then
I would do in the money ones. Your R to R is not going to be good, but it's a high probability.
Right.
Do meter on stake. I'm done with stake. I'm done with them. I am done with them. Yeah, that was Jake, guys. All right, let's see. Kevin hit nice on Apple. I saw that. We were talking about Apple this week, but yeah, Apple looked good. Yeah, Apple was great today. All tech did nice, but yeah, Apple really rallied. All right,
Apple's a tough trade though. That was not an easy trade. Like that first hourly candle of the day was ugly.
Oh, I know. It really was. IBM. I kind of like IBM here. Again, it's not one of those ones that a lot of these stocks right now are good, I think, to buy shares and or sell puts, right? And then accumulate, just take the shares. But the airlines are tough. It's a tough one, with the Delta variant, Biden going left and right. So we'll, not too much to say here.
Save, yeah, there's better stuff out there than Save. Or than airlines in general.
All the airlines, yeah. Fuck the air. If you're gonna invest, go ahead, but be ready for more downside.
Yeah.
Don't, if you're looking to buy longer term, sure, you can accumulate some here, but be ready to buy more at 17. Be ready to buy more at 15. Myrna, Jesus, all right.
66 Racing got their Myrna vaccine.
One of our admin, Dario, he put shit. God damn it. You know what he said? He posted it to me. He said
in DMs,
Myrna,
didn't he?
In my DMs, he said short Myrna at 4 on this day, on the 10th. He said short Myrna when it was at 493. He said stop loss above 495.
$2 risk. $2 risk.
Unbelievable. Never even broke. This was after it already took a little dip in the morning, so it never broke back above 495. Would have been probably the greatest trade ever. Unbelievable.
Oh,
huge move, unbelievable.
I actually don't think this one's done. I think
not
that
at all.
This
is a good spot.
Yeah.
Honestly, just to retrace back to this previous breakout zone, right? 360, 350. We got that nice wave. We got a hammer above the 20 EMA too.
It just did a month's worth of retracing in 4 days. So I think it might be a gift, honestly.
Yeah. Myrna's here to stay, guys. I think Vinny said it's what do you say? Did he say 800?
Vinny said people will look back on... Yeah, he said people will look back on COVID and remember that Moderna changed the world or something like that. Mm-hmm. I was like, damn, okay. So if Vinny's that in on it, okay, all right.
Hood. Did you do Hood?
No, I didn't.
I love Hood. I just like it for shares right around anywhere in this 40 range. That's just me. I just think it's a great company. Regardless of what you think, they're gonna fucking make money. They have earnings coming up. I thought they had earnings. Oh, it's in 2 weeks. Yeah. I thought it was sooner. No, isn't it this week? This might be wrong.
I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't see them on this week's list.
Yeah, look.
Hood I like, but these
Look,
ER
Wednesday.
names, these IPO names sometimes will take out their low a little bit. Like Snow did that. Snow went and took out its low from the IPO open and then immediately started to move back up. So or something like that. So don't be surprised if you're buying Hood. Just buy shares, like Brett said. Just buy shares and be ready to buy as it goes down. But I'm with you. I think this thing is regardless of your opinion on, they're gonna keep getting investors. They're gonna keep getting money. The common people, everybody who I talk to, still uses Robinhood. Everyone who I know who's not an actual trader still uses Robinhood, and they still will.
Yeah, and it's gonna be they have It says they have earnings Wednesday afternoon. I don't know.
Oh shit! All right.
So I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, if there was anybody that was worth a squeeze, I almost feel like Wall Street Bets is going reverse on Robinhood. They should be hating Robinhood for what they did with GameStop and all this, but everyone's just trying to get Robinhood to squeeze.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. HD. Home Depot strong. In this channel, guys. It's just in a nice channel, right? Ever since it broke out here, right? We're just in a nice channel up. All right, there we go. So we're just gonna keep basically playing these lows, right? Even with this here, and we're gonna hopefully break to some more upside. But I think earnings are tomorrow. Yeah. So nothing to say. Just we can't chart out earnings. If they have a good earnings, I'm sure they'll break back to all-time highs here. Otherwise, probably back to 320 or even the bottom of the range. It depends how the earnings are. Again, that's all. That's gonna be it. Let's look at Lowe's while we're there. Lowe's looks a little bit better, right? We have a little bit more of accumulation in this range. So I will say if Home Depot has a good earnings, it might be some insight to buy Lowe's shares or sell puts for Lowe's for earnings, which would be pretty good because it's the next day. And Lowe's looks like it has a bit more room. It's a nicer chart too for a move higher at least. safer move higher. Netflix. I like Netflix. It's just been in this range. You could say that it's kind of doing a little bit of flag down here for another move down, but I just feel like with all of this COVID stuff going on, they're going to get a pop or something's going to happen. There's been some flow coming in too. Nothing crazy though. Not really notable. Unfortunately, again, today was nice in the morning. It hit 523. Anytime it hits this 520, 525 range, guys, it gets rejected. The day it closes over 525, long that bitch. That's all I gotta say. I think
Long's a bitch.
Long's a bitch. Yeah, I think we're getting moved back to this 550 or 540. So following day or day after, if we do. Let's see. A word from our sponsors. Please like, comment, and subscribe while you guys are here. If you guys like these, put a thumbs up on the video, please. We appreciate it. Thoughts on shiny stock? We already did that, Earth. Earth. Just you can go back in the video when it's uploaded later, or basically what we said is stay away from China until you see a continual reversal or consolidation. Until you get a nice 2 weeks in a row or so with increasing volume, you know, it's just better to have shares instead of play options. Otherwise, you'd just be trying to time, you know, a move. Intel, kind of the same thing as MU, right? Yeah. So Intel, they didn't have as bad of an earnings, right? Well, they did have a pretty bad earnings, but it's been a bit since then, and they're consolidating around here. Intel looks pretty good for shares again, but until you get back above this 55, 54, 72 level, nothing for me. You got to get above the 20 EMA. A lot of these look good again, shares, not options. Or if you want, you could, again, same thing we've been saying, sell puts. We already did Shop, PayPal. PayPal, same thing here. PayPal, you got to get back above. You know, if anything's if you have a gap, if you have a big move down, dramatic move down, guys, unless you get into some type of support, you know, like if PayPal, the only time I'd blindly take it on along on PayPal, right, is if maybe it got to this golden pocket here, right? We hit the 707, we have the 200-day moving average. If I saw a reversal candle here, I'd take it. Otherwise, you know, when we're in this like little, yeah, you could say that it's a previous resistance, maybe support here, right? When something like this happens, I have to wait until it breaks back above 282 for me. That's just what I have to do. Also, you have the 20 EMA here. You need the momentum push a bit. Yeah, nothing.
Amazon, dude. Throw Amazon up there. We haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah, this was a fucking nutty candle.
Nuts.
Yeah. Just look at that 15 minute. This was nuts. $2.8%, $90 move from the lows, guys. Crazy. Crazy. I liked Amazon this week. I didn't take it at the open, thank God. But this is a nice candle, right? It looks great, but at the end of the day, we do have to see follow-up tomorrow, because what could happen, guys? What could have happened today that won't see some follow-up tomorrow? Maybe some buyers exhausted. All right, that dip was a hard dip. I mean, they bought it up hard, right? There's a decent amount of volume up behind it too. So you need to have what? Follow-up, right? Especially because we still aren't above what? I mean, we did tap it, but we're not above 3,300. Realistically, we have to get above here, 3,350. So, could have a strong week. Better to play day trades on Amazon, I think.
Yeah.
Until we get a close above this range here. Once we get a close above this range here, I'll long that shit to 3,500.
Yeah.
Trust me on that, guys. But until we get that, no swings too much. You know, only what you're willing to risk. Good day trades, though. Great day trade today if you caught it.
Spreads are nice and cheap on this one too. There's a few that you can get out to like September. That'll be nice. We have one of those in the room going. I'm excited for that one.
Word. Yep. Yeah, spreads will be good on Amazon, guys, because you know you should see a recovery in the name. I mean, you know, it's still holding this trend line relatively right here, right? And we have the 200-day. Until we have a close below the 200-day, should be pretty good. You know, we hit that 32, we tapped that 3,200 almost, and it had a nice bounce. Somebody said Starbucks. Starbucks one day broke the downtrend, last 2 candles. Not for me. You know, you could say that this is a break of the downtrend, but again, you're just running into, you switch to the 4 hour. This happens a lot, guys. It looks good on the daily, but then if you look at the 4 hour, all that you might have here, and you can tell it on the daily, is just a retest of where it broke down. So until you get back above here, it's a tough spot to long. Also, right? If you look at the 4 hour, you know, you kind of have this. This is like you could say that you're just breaking out here, but again, until you get back above that previous low, right? You get above a higher move above, and we make a higher high on the 4 hour, something like above here. It's not a trade for me. Again, just many other trades that look much better to take, right? Especially this daily, you want to see another continuation. You want a rounding bottom. It is a good spot. Again, same thing. You could buy shares or sell puts here. It looks good. Lots of volume came in today compared to Thursday, Friday, so that's good. But I like to see daily closes too above the 20 EMA. That's where you usually get momentum. You know, something like this move up, or you know, if we find a dip, something like, well, it's a pretty choppy chart, but it's a nice trend, right? It's a good stock to have shares in. You know, every dip is pretty much bought up, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. You know, consolidation after consolidation here, right? After the dip, which was right above the previous all-time high, and then what? Higher low, right? So, you know, until we get back above this previous high here, which is even with this resistance, you know, nothing here. So I'll set an alert, but that's it. Well, that's not too far off, right? What is that? 119. It's only what? 2%? Not even 1.5%. Yeah, that would be good. We already did shop. Chewy daily. I think I forgot to do Chewy. Chewy had a nice reversal in on Friday. Huge run up. I told a lot of people to take profits here. Some people were texting me about that too. We rode this stock up for quite a while, guys. But it finally filled. It's not exactly a gap, right? But you could say that it filled the move back up to what? Its previous support back in February, March, which was at this $100 level, right? 100 to 90, 97, 98. So that's kind of where we finally tapped here. We reversed down. We're still holding this uptrend though, right? We haven't made a lower low yet. So as long as we get a bounce here, should see a move back past 100. But for right now, not too much. PFE. Whoops. Strong. I personally don't like to do plays like this too much. I like to catch like the first day, but here, I don't know. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones that you just above the open each day, right? At highs, pretty much. There's really no levels around here. It could keep going. I mean, it's just you kind of test and fate by going long up here, right? It would be day trades only for me. If it keeps breaking above the open, then you can keep longing it intraday. But I wouldn't. I would be selling swings here, not buying them.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, just play every day at the open. It's just easier to play like that. Roku, we already did Roku, guys. We just said it's a tough spot. After it, I'll just look at it real quick. It's a tough spot because you're at the 200 day, but you have no confirmation. It could be a reversal candle, but it could also just consolidate around here. So no options. You could sell puts or buy shares. Facebook, sure. And then I'll answer your question in a second, David.
Facebook looks good. I like this one.
Yeah, Facebook looks pretty good. I think it'll run a lot of volume today, right? I think it'll run with tech. Again, look, guys, Microsoft, another push. Apple push, right? So it should see all-time highs. Maybe the end of the week. If we get this QQQ push still. Qs are down a little bit, tech's down a little bit. We'll see what happens. Can you talk macros? September tapering convo. Again, they always talk about tapering. You know, they've been talking about it for what, 3 months now, Jake?
Dude, it's been forever. I don't think it's coming anytime soon.
Yeah, until they actually do it, there's no need. It's just talk. So,
right.
You know, unfortunately, you got to just keep playing safe because there is going to be the day they actually say it, and it's going to be, you know, a D-Day type scenario most likely where you're going to have the indices down 3%. You know, so you guys got to, you know, but the trend is your friend still. Like, you're going to miss out on so much opportunity until then. If you started listening to them 3 months ago, you know, you'd miss out on this whole move. Or if you were starting to try short, you'd be screwed. Delta variant, well, that's up to the variant. Nothing I could say. You know, look for tech. Again, you know, look for tech to rise if things start to get worse, right? Inflation, same thing, you know, dollar's weak. I think dollar bounced though, right? Recently? Yeah, dollar's been bouncing a bit, right?
Yeah, slowly but surely.
You know, looks good.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, it actually doesn't look bad at all.
So we'll see what happens. You know, we look at the bond market as well, right? Pushing up nicely. Has to break above 150 again to get some momentum, 152. So, you know, we'll see. It depends what kind of stimulus if you're gonna be doing anything, or you know, a lot of these programs are ending, and they're starting. A lot of people are starting to get back to work. We're kind of living with COVID a bit. You know, everybody's work. Not many people. They're not saying shut down your places, right? They're just saying everybody mask up at your places. The capacities.
Mask up.
Capacities are all staying the same. Get your vax cards, right? That's what they're saying now. So it's not going to be some crazy thing, I don't think, where we shut down completely again. Talks about rate hikes is helping the dollar. Yeah, of course. There's no reason to not start accumulating, you know, bonds, shares like TLT, right? Or investing in bonds, because eventually they're going to come back, and it probably will be in the next year, right? So people are taking profits on the market overall. S&P, QQQ, right? All the names under them. You know, you're probably 2x your money at least. So it's not a bad time to take profit and rotate back into those safer plays, right?
Yeah, I think that, and then also like safer names. Like that's why names like Cost have been going crazy. I saw Cost on there, but like that's part of the reason I think Cost has been going nuts.
Oh, fucking insane! Look at this shit,
dude. I know. My fucking the calls that I signaled, the spreads, I have a 395 400 that expires this week. I've been in it since like 380.
Wow. Don't you wish you went naked there?
Yes, I do.
Sometimes you wish you just went naked.
Sometimes you wish you were fucking naked, man.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you. Not a sexy question, but appreciate. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, cost is nice. Microsoft looks great. We just went over that too. Should be a see a push. Dash. Yeah. Looks all right. Again, I would just wait for breaks on this name. You have a big resistance cluster here, so that's the reason I'd only day trade it. Speaking of that, Uber getting killed. Getting fucking killed. This is where you sell puts on Uber, in my opinion.
Yeah. I was looking at them to do that same thing earlier today, actually.
Yeah, you should post that tomorrow. Sell some puts. Right? There might be some type of spreads you can do too, but this will be a pretty good play. Or maybe even some type of debit spreads, right? Long dated. Or you can go
get long dated debit. You can do both, dude. Sell a put credit spread and buy a long dated debit, and then just wait.
Yeah, I posted a nice one on Amex. A video on it that Tony Zhang was doing.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw that video. I didn't see what he was doing.
Yeah, he's doing a put debit, but he's got one strike in the money. The other one's way out. But those work out.
Oh, okay.
They work out pretty well because your break even's literally somewhere only like 1 or 2% lower.
Yeah.
So, you know, they cost a lot. Or they not that they cost a lot. You kind of need that decay on the sell leg, right, to make that full profit.
Yeah,
but you're not
exactly.
You're not going for that full profit at all.
No. You want that decay a little bit.
Yeah, so you're just going for like 40-50% on those, which can happen quick. Whoops. Yeah. All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap it up in a minute. We'll do 2 more. So GLDX. Am I not getting that for some reason? Did you mean gold? GLD?
GLDX might be the what's it called? Like 4X version.
Ah.
Right?
Yeah, might be. I don't know.
SoFi, I don't know.
Gold looks like it's coming into resistance here though. Just to take a look while you guys are here. SoFi.
That looks
Yeah,
bad.
They got crushed.
You can
on
buy
earnings.
shares here.
Yeah, you can buy shares here, but they got crushed on earnings.
Yeah, I mean this chart does not look good.
Yeah. Somebody said Affirm. I like Affirm long term. I love Affirm. I think when everything gets back to normal a bit too, they're gonna crush it. Their payment plans are great. It's a great. Any of these companies are good that allow these payment plans. I think. Zone real quick, and then we'll call Sava, and then we'll call it. AutoZone looks good. I like this. So this is the type of thing you want to look for, guys, on the daily. Again, we usually like to see this break right above the highs, but you know we'll just pull up the 4 hour. It'll look a little bit easier, right? But you want to see some type of trend line break here. So as soon as we get that break above 1640, that's a move to go long, and my stop's tight. That's the beauty of these plays is the stop is very tight. You keep a stop with something like this. You aim for a bit higher. Whoops, like this, right? You aim for a bit higher than all-time highs. You know, at least a 2 to 1, hopefully, and you're sitting right there. You want to break above this previous resistance again, right? You get a close above here. You want a 4 hour close or a daily close, or a 4 hour, either one really. At above 1645 or 1642, something like that. You take the trade, and your stop's relatively tight, right? And that's it. Cassava. Looks like a pretty big dump. I'm not sure what they do. I'm guessing they got a drug denied or something, and then they steadily climbed up. I don't know. I don't know anything about this company. Unfortunately, it's not a buy for me at all until you get back above these highs. In fact, it kind of looks like a short here, probably, if I pull a short GP, yeah.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of a fade below, yeah. I mean, they're up from $2. They were at $2 earlier this year. So, like, if you're not in long, you missed the move.
Yeah, this isn't a stock I watch, unless you read news left and right. Thanks, Brett and Tim. This isn't Tim, it's Jake. But
I'll take the thank you nonetheless.
yeah, he'll take it anyway. All right, guys, we'll wrap it. Okay, for real, last one, Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix back to this gap fill. You know, the last time it was here in May, had a huge fucking run. Just did another gap fill to the upside. And now it's just back down here. It looks good, though, the daily today for a reversal at these lows. This is where buyers came in last time, right? So, you know, you have to see what happens. But names like this, you gotta be careful, right? Stitch Fix, again, if you guys don't know, they make clothing boxes. You know, you order clothes, they send you an outfit. You know, people got to go out for that shit. So as long as everything's happening with the variant and they're shutting places down or less capacity, you know, you got to be careful with these names. They did thrive as we were reopening with COVID, right? You could see here towards the end of the year, fucking exploded, right? And then kind of just died off again, right? Died off. Things started getting a little bit worse. We had user growth decline also, so you know, just careful with these names. You gotta think of them. Do you guys invest in real estate? I want to get into it in the next year or two. I want to start doing commercial personally, so I need to allocate funds for that. It's a little different. My buddy does commercial, but I don't have any now.
Not for me. Nope, not yet.
REITs.
I'm still on the come up.
REITs, guys, invest in the REITs. What is a good REIT that I used? That I did? What is the one that we played a lot? What is it called? Do you remember? Ah, shit.
Oh, IVR.
IVR, yeah. Ah, they're getting shit on.
Yeah, that thing looks like death.
Oh my god. Well, shit.
Buy the dip, brother.
By the day. Yeah, that's it, guys. No problem. Again, this is not Timmy. It's Jake. Does it say that in the description or something? Did I forget?
I don't know. I'm not Timmy. My name is Jake. I go by JR Admin in chat, but thank you nonetheless.
Shit, they're gonna be calling you. You're gonna be called.
I'm gonna be the new Tim, I guess. Oh god.
You're gonna be You're gonna have to be JK.
JK.
Oh my god. All right, guys, no problem. We will probably do. I think Vinny in our chat, Gandalf. He's gonna do a video. I don't think he's gonna do a stream. But I'm going to see if he can start doing ones on Wednesday or Thursday, or probably Wednesday, for a midweek recap. But we'll do these on Monday, kind of get some insight for the week. Again, indices are down a bit right now, but, nothing crazy at all. This is the daily right now for QQQ. We want to see a little bit of a dip, like Jake and I said in the morning, right? And then a break above the highs from today, today, rather, which will be yesterday, tomorrow. And then we'll look at some longs further for tech. UPS trade going great. You guys can still probably get in that, to be honest, if we get a nice move above today's high. Nike as well. All right, and then Shop again was our PDF play. We need to get above a $1,500 hourly close first, guys. Okay. Realistically, just based off today's candle, I keep saying yesterday. Today's candle, you want to see a move maybe even above 1520 first, just to be safe. But that's it. Anything from you, Jake?
Nope. That's it. Just be patient this week. It's OPEX, but the market looks fucking good. So let's see where this goes.
All right. Later, people. We're going to end the stream now. We'll see you guys later.